Hello, everyone. I'm in my chatting thing because it takes Hardspace Shipbreaker a while to load. How's it going? It's Sunday. I should move my drinks. I changed this microphone situation, and it means that I should probably have my beverages over here now, instead of over there, which is where I used to be. Intense, super secret updates from the world of twitch.tv/turbotango. Behind the scenes, where Mike puts the drinks. I got a bigger desk, I guess, sometime in the last year, and it's definitely been very handy. And so I've kind of step by step been improving my desk situation in order to be able to have a better time working and doing all the things I do from here, which is a lot of things. Since I do my writing from here, I do podcasts from here, I do streams from here. All right, and now we can go over to this, and I will do in-game, and it should be doing the thing that the game is doing. Now, we will see, come on. And I'm in here, yes, show me the thing. So we have this, we're gonna go back to career, and then I'm gonna remember where my UI is in this game and whether I need to move the camera. So if you missed it, this Friday, aka 2 days ago, we did the world building game and setting creation for Speculate's Court of Blades game, which was a lot of fun.
Cutter 9346-52. Your designated sleep period is now over. Have a great day.
Your requested ship was lost in processing. As a compensation for a technical error, we have credited the following to your account. Well, that's not terrible, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll find out what I'm up to. Let's go to the equipment room to see if I have any upgrades I can do. I have 14 tokens. That may not be enough for anything. But I should repair my stuff. Back. Everything else should be fine. And now let's do this. So, the ship we had has gone away, so now we get different things. Ooh, that's interesting. So this has a reactor, power cells, and thrusters. Are these all hazard level 5? Here's a hazard level 4. So you're a different type of javelin tanker, for whatever reason. But you're worth almost as much. Almost the same amount. Let's see, I think we did one of these. We've done one of those. So let's try 1635, 16. Okay, well this is lower hazard level and it's a different design than we've done before. The corporation would never credit you without, yeah. I wonder if that's like a game error thing, where it's not that there's a story event where they lose your ship, but it's a bug, and therefore the compensation is stronger.
You're from Earth, right? You ever miss it? I know it's a rough place, and hot as hell during the day. There's still this kind of like beauty to it. I don't know. Space is cool, don't get me wrong. I just miss the colors at sundown, you know? Right before the dark swallows the world. Or the feeling of the ocean breeze on your cheeks. Just like dancing across the water between all the rusted buildings. Could you imagine living in the early 20th century? What a dream. They were so lucky. Anyways, I gotta get back to the ship. Have a good one, fellow Earthling.
That description makes me think that things on Earth are not so great. Bank error in your favor? Yeah, that may be. Alright, let's... Okay, so there's our cut point. We just have to... Okay, that was that. Okay, when we get down to this, then I think, okay, so this may just be free at this point, right? Grapple? Yep. Alright, so those will get down there eventually.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
And then we have to do this little connector deal. Okay. This little bit, let's not fly into something else. We have to cut this part. Okay. Now this can grapple to there, and you can tether to that. And let's just get those little things moving. Yep, you get going over here. So now we've got all of that sorted, and I can take a look at how am I going to get inside here. So that's a cockpit. Maybe. Here are some thrusters. Thunk. And some stuff on the back. You are kind of barge panels. So I can open that up. Is there an airlock here somewhere? So I just gotta get these, go down there, come on.
Salvage secured. Credit deposited.
Is there a way in other than this thing right here? Are you an airlock? No, here's something else. Ah, here's an airlock. Alright, see if I can do this without a terrible decompression.
Depressurizing.
That's depressurizing.
Airlock pressurizing.
Okay, you gonna let me inside now? No, that's not anything. So that's the airlock console. Door? Are you a door? No? Okay. I've completely forgotten
Airlock depressurizing.
how this is supposed to work. Because now this will let me... Okay, now I'm in here. I don't know that that's what I was supposed to do.
Airlock pressurizing.
Okay, and now I'm supposed to get to...
Airlock depressurizing.
Is here where I do the environmental thing? Wall terminal? Nope, come on. You are wall terminal. Come on. One of these is supposed to be, let me do the controlled depressurization. Hello? No?
Warning. Oxygen reserves.
Too long,
are low.
forgot how to outer space.
Airlock pressurizing.
No?
Airlock depressurizing.
Gotta go back and get O2.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Please contact your plant administrator to add asphyxiation coverage. Oxygen levels stabilizing.
And some tethers.
Tethers restored.
Okay, let's try that again. You, go down there. Get credited. There we go. That's ion rings. Okay, so this is... Now we're in here. Have we just depressurized everything? Yeah, because this is all... Okay, maybe we did do what we needed to do. So this, behind this is the reactor console. And here's the cockpit. Alright, so now we...
We're looking at 5 minutes left in your ship cutter. Do what you do. Weaver out.
Is that it? Alright, so yeah, now this part's coming off. What are you? You are all... All of this is furnace? Okay. Let's see, let me orient myself here. So I'm not sure that I can't do something with the rest of this. No, you're still all furnace. Okay. Well, that's... now I know that. Okay, so I pulled this off.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Alright, now this is much easier to grab. Grab all this stuff for the barge. You're
Salvage deposit registered.
just crap.
Account credited. Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
Okay, and then we grab this, right? Yep.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I gotta save that poster. Okay, so now we got some cut points, which I'm curious about here. Alright, that's... oh, that just lets the... this cockpit does not... or is, I guess, not too... especially, held together. Oh, that's convenient.
Valuable object processed. Credit awarded.
Okay, and you're held on here. So now, all right, so this, that whole piece just comes out, but there is something here which is separate, right? You're, how are you separate? Are you just held in some way? Ah, here we go.
Processing object.
Alright, so you're
Credit
just
to
a...
account.
you had already come undone. Just gonna throw you in there. Great. Alright, so we got these big thrusters. Let me see if I can...
1 minute left, Carter. If you got something cooking, now's the time to plate it. Bring it to the table.
Okay.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
Alright. Now, I don't know. Looks like these thrusters I should be able to just cut. Let's find out. I don't know what... you're chopping up some other things that maybe I don't want to be chopping up, so that's important to know. Okay, good progress for the first day. We've got the ion rings, some terminals, basically all the cockpit stuff. Destroyed a little bit of glass, but it's not especially a bother.
Hello, Shipbreaker. This is your morning wake-up call.
Cutting tool rental. Yeah, it's like having to rent the stuff that is essential to then do the work. I would love to sit down with like a labor law expert and basically just talk through all of the ways in which what this company is doing is utterly terrible, in specifics, as opposed to kind of the layperson's analysis that I've been able to do here and hearing from folks. Like, to my knowledge, none of the folks who have been chatting are labor law experts, but people contain multitudes. But even the little bit that I've learned, tells me a lot of things that I know people
Laura.
should hear.
Just thought I'd check in with you. Do you ever miss your folks back on Earth? My old man's back on the Aris platform. It was rough growing up there. Hard to even get by. Folks just grasping at whatever works they can. Like my mom. She left to work on station when I was 4. Hardly know her. Basically remarried now. And my dad? He's a miner. Always wanted to be prospecting himself one day, but tired now. Mining's driven the life out of him. It was hard. Just the two of us. Not gonna lie. People shouldn't have to make choices like that. You know? Break their families apart just to survive. Anyways, maybe someday I can do what my old man wasn't able to. Someday. Blew out.
I would really like to be able to help make that happen for Lou. That would be pretty cool. Just with these new systems, I'm always waiting to see whether something is going to cause me to explode. All right, are you out? Or just do I need to get under here and push? Yeah, there we go. So this is a big fuel tank. And yeah, I don't think I want to cut these parts off. So let's get this other fuel tank.
Credits deposited.
Get down in here. Cut off the attachment points. Here, and then, is that everything we need to do? Zooming around in 3D is very fun here. Alright, I think that's that. So now... just gotta get you out from where you are. Get you moving that way. Back here, and now get you moving. Get along there, fuel tank. Just need to make sure that you don't soar straight past the barge part. Okay, and then I can chop this up. Yeah, anybody who is in like a union leadership position would definitely be able to walk through a lot of that, right?
Rewards allocated.
Especially for whatever field they were in.
Salvage registered.
Alright, where'd you...
Transferring
There's
credits.
another piece there, right? Here you are. Okay. So, are you a thing?
Salvage accepted. Credits applied.
No, you're not another piece. So I know I can pop you. Is that going to be my best plan here? Can I separate you? Not easily. yeah, it's really illuminating to go back and look at kind of stories about industrial labor in the kind of early labor organizing times and times before that, to kind of come to understand exactly how many things changed because people got to like have a say. Okay. Thruster cap. So there's the reactor. Is it just one reactor? So that's glass.
Salvage deposit.
Oh. Okay, so connecting to that is bad.
Warning. Critical helmet damage.
Looks like I'm gonna die. So it just went straight by the
Injury is important to us.
barge. I must have had the angle wrong. Hello, Triffity Mads. You're here just in time to watch my 4th or 5th death of this run. That sounds pretty terrible, Rubno. I'm very sorry to hear that. The loss of life and limb part and the corporate, it's your own fault for trying to save somebody from something that there's a very good chance of being the fault of whoever was running the mill, or possibly whoever designed it, but I don't know the rest of the details. So I guess I don't know if I got that. Did I get the reactor? I don't know that I got the reactor, but now I can start pulling this apart, I guess. My character not able to hear? Did my audio go weird? Is that a is this the game saying, oh well, there was a problem with this spare, and so this spare doesn't have a sense of hearing? You need the Resynth helmet upgrade to hear in vacuum. Okay, thank you, Raphael Tro. And welcome. Let's see. Oh, there's one more. At least one more piece that's holding everything together. Oh, there's several more pieces. There we go. Look at all these parts. There we go. So I'll go in the processor. sounds like it'll work. Yeah, because I think in space I've been able to hear those comms wherever I am, because it's supposed to be in my, like in my, inside my suit, right? And there's no music. Okay, so this stuff is coming apart. You go in the processor. Alright, you have not come apart yet. You go in the barge. Oof. Whoop. Where'd that light go? Well, I'm not here now. So let's look at options, audio. Well, volume is still there. Player voice. Okay, that should have grabbed. Let's go back over here. So there's a little internal piece there, come on. And there's this piece here. Okay, so now that comes off. You are an airlock. So this piece at least I know I can pull off. You go over here. You're all one thing. So you, airlock. Do you have little pieces? Yeah, I can cut those off, yes. Because the airlock part goes in the barge, and then I think the outer part just goes to the processor. Right? Okay. Maybe they did confiscate my radio. But then how did that guy reach me? How did the shift manager? Tethered the light to the wall there, which is very funny. All right, let's go. Let's see, what's holding you together at this point? Or are you all just one thing? There's my barge. Come on. Well, now I have radio malfunction. And the shift is almost over, but I think the shift being over will actually save me. Yep. Well, we'll see if if the audio resets. Otherwise, I may need to quit the game and come back in to see if the sound will come back on. Nope. So let's save and quit. I'm going to quit all the way out of the game and then start it over. Well, wait. That seemed like it had sound, so we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to jump back in the game. Alright, sounds like, all right, I think the sound's back. Let's see. Or let's find out. I cannot see the sounds. Okay, that's game sound. Alright. The turn it off and turn it on again seems to have worked. Let me know if you can't hear.
Cutter 9346-52.
Alright, I've gotten more tokens, right? Still at, well, I've gotten 26. Okay, reset, did that work, made that work as well. Okay, glad to hear it. And how's it going? Welcome, Lord Lothar. Now let's see, so let's repair this. Repair this. Why can't I get this? Okay. Everything needed more than I had. Why aren't there stickers on my tools? I've been focused on other matters, I guess. Plus, I don't own these tools yet, so I wouldn't get to see.
You're not going around doing all the stupid newbie things, are ya? Going around trying to be the best out there? It'll kill you real quick. Counting your spares ain't as cool as you think. And here's a tip. Keep a diary. They say the memory transfer to the spare is flawless, but I've heard otherwise. Oh, and never pee in your suit. But just don't.
I mean, that sounds like a fair suggestion. Let's see. Are you still attached? There's plenty of things that are still attached in here. Let's go take a look at that. RFID chips in the gear would not be surprising to me now.
Bye.
No. Alright, I gotta pull things apart more before I can do that. You're just junk. Okay. Let's see, what can I peel off of this right now? Alright, I don't have you cracked enough. There we are. That did it. Are you still attached or are you just stuck? Yeah, you're just stuck. Okay.
Processor deposit accepted. Credits awarded.
Yeah, I'll get you in there. And are you all one thing? You're basically all one thing. Can I pull this off? No. You appear to all be that, so I can pull you over there. I'm gonna get off of that. Get you separated. Okay. Get in there. You get in there. Well, that'll get you somewhere. And you, I'm going to put on the other one because I've got a traffic situation going.
Valuable object accepted for processing.
Alright, you aren't stuck to anything there, so let's make you go over there. Come on, get moving.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Yeah, I'm guessing that I'm still kind of in an extended tutorial area, or I'm close to the end of the tutorial because I'm in Act 2, and that then the part of the game that isn't just chop everything apart and be done at the end of the day will become more of a thing. That's my hope, at least. Alright, get over there. Now we can start pulling this part apart. Whoop! Excuse me?
Salvage goal failed. Rewards voided.
I can't touch that thing even a little bit. Okay. I guess. Because that was like a fuel tank.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Material accepted. Credits assigned.
Well, I may have gotten almost everything that I can get from this. I'm going to go fill up on fuel and O2 and then see what's useful, what is left that's useful to salvage versus just kind of giving up on this one.
Welcome to Venditron 9000. Thank you for your purchase. Thank you for your purchase.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Okay. So we got some big structure parts left here. I may be able to get something out of. There's still some fire here. I guess that's salvageable even though it's on fire. Let's pull some stuff out of here so that I can
Credits transferred.
actually get in there. There's so much crap that it's all bouncing into one another. Alright, so now I'm in the cockpit again, or in the airlock again. Let's clear all this stuff out here. Okay, that can go
Processed. Transferring credits.
down there.
Salvage
That
accepted.
stuff's just out of there, that's fine. Understandably, you have to be very, very careful what you point lasers at in this game. I think that's a fairly good safety lesson. Be careful what you point lasers at. Glad that my laser cutter seems to have like takes longer to overheat. Since I'm having to cut a zillion things here. So this is another airlock type thing. Okay, so I think I've cracked most of this. That was a strange beep.
Five minutes left, Cutter. How you use them is entirely up to you. We were out.
Raw material deposited. Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Let's get all that pull all that stuff off. Get you going there too. Alright, you're not cracked open yet.
Deposit accepted for processing. object processed. Credits deposited.
Tether supplies running low.
Let's see, can I get to the right angle on this thing to get it unstuck without getting myself melted here?
Processing object. Applying credits to account.
Maybe not. Alright, now there's stuff in there that I can salvage. Alright, here you are. Up. Okay, good.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit secured.
What's in,
Credits
what in
awarded.
here do I want to save? There we go. Let's get those lights, I guess.
Salvage secured. Applying credits.
That chair is salvageable. We'll sell that chair. Send that chair back to Herman Miller and charge $600 for it. But in space bucks, it'd be like $16,000.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
That I know I can salvage. You, I guess you're still attached. Let's,
60 seconds left to wrap things up, Carter.
okay, let's orient
Warning.
ourselves.
Oxygen reserves are dropping.
Let's get you in there, and then tether you to you.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Okay. Well, let's go back here. I don't know that well. It's like, which will run out first? O2 or the mission? Let's not take a risk.
Oxygen levels.
Yeah, it's interesting to think what parts of the game are places where I just haven't learned how things work, and which ones are, oh, this isn't actually as advertised, and that's interesting. But I do wish that
Good morning, Cutter
the
9346
tutorialization was a little bit better.
Today's weather report: clear and sunny, with a high of minus 270 degrees.
Because when I like the last time I tried to start a new ship, there was not a tutorial available. So I've never had a tutorial for, hey, don't electrocute yourself and die. Okay, I need rank 18 to purchase a grapple. Durability, cooldown. Cooldown sounds good. Okay, 2 upgrades on the cutter. But yes, I should I should use some stickers. Let's see. So I do have that sticker. Yes, we still do that. Which stickers, other stickers do I actually have? That may be the only one I have so far. Nope. Ah, okay. Nope. Now I have a sticker. Alright. I think there is more stuff that I can get from here. Let's try to get to at least this third checkpoint, because we're not going to be able to get the fourth one since I blew several things up. I think a big chunk of what I lost was that reactor.
Huh? Who's whistling? No whistling!
What? Why? What's wrong?
You don't know? It's bad luck!
Bad luck? Why is it bad luck?
It just is. Damn. That's just superstitious, no? What's wrong with you kids? What's next? Salvaging 7 of the same type of object in a row?
Wait, is that bad luck?
Dee Dee, that's ridiculous. You listen to me, kiddo. I've been doing this job for 17 years. Seen a lot of bad stuff in my day. When I'm telling you don't whistle, don't process 7 of the same object in a row, and don't look at the moon while inside a ship, you really need to listen. All right, all right. No more whistling. We got it.
Alright, let's pull this apart so that we can send these to the right places.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Give me that panel, thank you. And you go to the barge as well. Okay.
Salvage deposit accepted.
And
Credits
then you
transferred.
go to the processor. Ah. Ah. That'll work. Guess you're all just trash.
Caution. Tethers depleted.
Processing valuable deposit.
Is there anything in here
Credits
that's
transferred.
valuable? Thruster's damaged. Why?
Raw material accepted.
Hi, Chep526. Yeah, it's. I agree with your assessment.
Material deposited.
I'm still very much learning, so I may have slightly more unchill moments than someone with more experience,
Salvage goal reached.
but I hope still to an enjoyable degree of whichever types of moments you like. Let's grab that while I see it.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
There's a little light. I can pull you here. Go down a little bit, switch back. And there you are. Okay. So now these are separated. You can go there. You go to the barge. Where'd you go?
Salvage deposit confirmed.
Did the other part
Applying
go
credit.
flying off somewhere? Well, Maybe. I feel like some of this, yeah, some of this gets salvaged. Lights.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
So I ran a playtest of the Genrenauts Fortune in the Dark RPG that I'm designing. Ran it last night at a Magpie Games community designer event where they just they facilitate designers from within their kind of Discord community to do playtesting, which was very fun and for which I'm grateful to have the opportunity. So this was the first time that I
Salvage deposited.
ran the game
Credits transferred.
for people who did not know me or know the work, since Genrenauts is based
Salvage
on
deposit secured.
the novella series.
Credits awarded.
It is a tabletop role-playing game. I am not a programmer. I learned a tiny bit of C or C++, but that was a long time ago and I was not actually very good at it. I did not spend the time to develop real skill. So I guess the most programming I know how to do is that I learned a bit of HTML years and years ago and can still sort of use some of it. But I am a apprentice slash beginning game TTRPG game designer with this Genrenauts thing that I'm doing. And it was a fun and very illuminating experience, since previously I'd been running the game for people who were, kind of already knew what Genrenauts was as an overall concept. Since compared to some RPGs, it has a much higher concept. In something like, well, Thirsty Sword Lesbians is you're thirsty sword lesbians, and so you have adventures that are about emotional connections, and sometimes there's smooching, and sometimes there's fighting.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
That's very different in terms of what it takes to communicate what's going on versus Genrenauts, which is there is a multiverse.
Salvage registered.
Our Earth is what we call Earth Prime. Every other dimension operates under the narrative physics of a popular fiction genre. So there's a whole world, there's a whole dimension that is constantly doing basically action movies. And so that modern action genre world was the setting that I used for the playtest, since I think the genre conventions of modern action are very widely discussed and understood in such a way that makes it more accessible.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
So I was explaining how what Genrenauts is, and then explaining the game in terms of my design. But the players kind of asked good questions and got to the point where they understood what was going on and kind of completed their mission.
Caution.
Oh, I don't have tethers.
Tether supply depleted.
I should have gotten tethers. So, the characters are the Genrenauts. They travel to different dimensions. They use their experience and creativity. Okay, I'm a specialist in the action area, which means that I get a cool special ability that lets me do this kind of push to have more dice a mechanic for less, because they can do quippy one-liners, and if they do a one-liner when they're trying to push, they can do a push for 1 stress instead of 2, to kind of represent the way that kind of quips and one-liners operate in that type of action story. So I've got the special abilities that are set up like that, and there's kind of a mission structure where you get you get a briefing and you do recon, and then you figure out, okay, here's where the story is broken, and here's what we're going to do to try to put the story back on track so that it kind of does not continue to spitball or to snowball as a broken story and cause kind of interdimensional strife and destruction. And you know, in a 4-hour session, I described what Genre Nuts is. We made and modified characters. They did a whole mission, and then the folks gave me feedback. So a lot of things all in one chunk of time, and some very interesting and thought-provoking feedback that I've been chewing on since we finished yesterday. So I think if I can make the time this week, I will do a
5 minutes left on the clock, Cutter. 5 minutes remaining.
design diaries video on my Patreon, of which I've done 1 or 2 previously, to kind of talk through that feedback in a kind of semi-private fashion, like just for the patrons as opposed to totally in public. Though I do want to do some more public design stuff. I think after maybe 1 or 2 more external but not public playtests, where I have people playing it that are not already super familiar with Genre Nuts, but then it's not also being broadcast to the public or something like that. But yeah, thank you for kind of saying that you'd be interested, Chap526. I appreciate it. I hope to get to the point where I'm doing kind of general, whoever wants to type of playtest, whether that's like an early released version of the game where, you know, I put it on itch.io and like all of this, like this whole thing can go in the processor.
Processor deposit accepted. Credits awarded.
I suppose that makes sense. Or there's some lights, but that would work, or that does make sense as not light. All right. I think there will be a time when I'd want to kind of do more Genre Nuts playtests for the kind of Wednesday home group, but I want to sort through the feedback that I got from this last time first, in terms of getting a sense of whether I want to make small changes or bigger changes to my design approach. All right, so if I hadn't cracked this all apart quite so much, I could have just tethered the whole thing in one go, it seems.
Transferring credit.
All right, let's go over there, come on. Get over there. Cage will usually drag the whole thing in. Cool, thank you for the tip.
Object accepted for processing.
Let's get all those in, and then I think that will probably be it for this ship for today, because everything else is all just this random junk from when I blew up that fuel tank. Guess maybe looks like there's some green chunks in here. Oh, these are pickups. Oh, well, battery pack. I'll get something for these, right?
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Okay. I think that's that. So I can just try to throw some stuff away in the furnace here in the time that I have remaining. Nope, no. You go over there.
That's 1 minute left, Cutter. You're in the middle of something. It's nigh on time to skedaddle.
Material
Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Throw this over here. Just trying to find chunks that are small enough that I can actually move them around. This is just not...
Oxygen reserves
It's too big to go where I want it to, without having to do a bunch of extra stuff.
Materials deposited.
Not as much in the way of board games, since I'm building a...
New certification level has been achieved.
Hey,
License
rank 8.
level increased.
More of the specific influences are other tabletop role-playing games. So I'm using the Forged in the Dark design style, which was created for Blades in the Dark by John Harper. And I'm also drawing on
Hello, Shipbreaker
some stuff from other Forged in the Dark games. Ooh, look at this big chunky
Lynx would like to
this
share the
box of
following
a ship,
inspirational
the
message.
Atlas Roustabout.
Make the most of your shift by fanning the tiny sparks of effort into flames of profitability.
Work utility, construction, salvage, or demolition. The Roustabout lets you handle the hardest jobs with ease. Okay. It's a good day. Got an email.
Carter, I want to tell you, I'm mighty impressed by you. Remind me of me when I started. All bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Had big dreams of hitting the rails back then. Bought myself one of them classic armadillo rigs. Named the old girl Beulah, after my mother. Told you about my bad revive a while back. Another case of me and technology not getting on, I guess. Bottom line is, this body just ain't fit for flying no more. So, I want to give Beulah to you, Cutter. She ain't in the best of shape, but she'll do good by you. Hell, even a few places around the village that'll fit her out for gate travel, if you're so inclined. Anyway, that's it. She'll do more for you than me now. I'm just happy she's gonna be with somebody that truly appreciates her. We were out.
Well, that's fairly sudden, but that certainly gives us at least one step toward like being able to get out. Like if I can erase my debt and take the ship and leave, and maybe even go and leave and work with the other cutter who's been helping talk about. Is this a game without a game? No, this is looks like an encoded message. So a... Okay, so that's one of the audio logs,
Hey,
right?
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I get it. You don't want to talk to me right now. Well, hey, you don't gotta. Just listen. Nobody alive can be an angel all the time, and I don't want you seeing my other side. You know, I've been going to anger management classes and trying to do my breathing exercises and just look, if I seem edgy, I'm not trying to take it out on you, okay? You gotta believe me. I am so sorry if it feels like I'm taking it out on you. That was never my intention. Never my intention. Please, Emmy.
I don't know that this goes well for this person.
Here, I'm trying my best. I'm trying. My intentions are good. I just... I don't know. I'm sorry. This is what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
But still sad. Alright, Exeter Paulson. This is a puff piece about some rich person. Clearing and recycling. Link salvage. Okay, so this is the person who founded the company, or there we go. Charmed with how Link Salvage used the now extinct wildcat with the air of a mythological beast as its moniker. Aw. Sad cats. More puff piece. Origin of Links. Martel Industries. Small and unassuming company. Alright, so Paulson bought this company out. Okay. That's that. Back. Let's go over here, because I gained a level, so I might be able to buy new stuff. I only have 4 repair kits, so I need to make some progress on that, I think. Increase top speed. Brake. No. Okay, I don't quite have enough for that. But that is... Braking sounds like a thing that I would want to be able to be better at. So there's very little left to do there, right? So we're gonna skip tanker, station hopper, scout patrol craft, light cargo, nomad. All right, so let's do one of these. Atlas, nomad cargo hauler. The Thunder Secon nomad cargo hauler. I think maybe after the first bit of this.
Morning, crew. Let's hit them salvage goals.
I'll do a quick break.
Yeah, hey, Weaver, do you know when this administrator gets here?
Should be here any day now. But remember, no need to worry.
Thanks.
Kai, you good?
Yeah. Just nervous, you know. I really can't lose this job.
Whoa, slow down there.
They always let go of the screw-ups first, right?
We all screw up, Kai.
Just work careful. Avoid any major accidents. You'll be golden.
Yeah. I just keep my head down.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
And you go over there. Can pull that out. Yep. Go over here. Get that utility arm. Just trying to not throw it directly into the cockpit or something, which could go poorly for me. Alright, so there's the airlock.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
The collision situation on that was very strange.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Yeah, I'm sure Kaito will be fine. Kaito is definitely not set up as a character that's just going to get totally screwed. Okay, cargo. So that's that. That is a hoist. Industrial hoist. Are you the reactor back here? Yep. Alright, so... Oh, look at all this, like there's gas or something. Like, it's very, the air is thick. so what's my best way out here? That's the cargo.
Airlock depressurizing.
Yeah, if anybody says that they're about to retire, I will worry intensely for them, is what I'm going to say. I think that that is a very appropriate assessment. Okay, so that's the cockpit. And then the reactor is back here. Oh, it's cargo. Okay. So I remember from last time that I learned that this is how you pull these thrusters out, because you pull the cap things off and then you can cut this and then pop that out the back. Alright, you go in there. And then we will be very careful. Hope to be very careful. Yeah, I don't know that this is pressurized in the same system as I think this may be pressure distinct from where I just was. But I am not even a little bit sure, if I'm being honest. Alright, so this, like, this is the tricky thing, right? Because
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
Because there, if I do it this way, then there's all those fires. Yep, it is an interesting mechanic, but it is very stressful.
Thruster unstable. Fire hazard risk high.
Come on, come on. Come on. Let me get through. Nope, this is gonna go poorly for me.
Salvage destroyed. Please revisit your training.
Is it just the fuel pipe? I feel like...
Fire damage. Note that prolonged exposure to high temperatures can lead to employee burnout.
There we go. Alright, now this pulls apart. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. That's not a thing to zap. Yeah, I have not been able to be consistent yet on getting through the kind of small pipe area to be able to turn that off in a good time.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
Okay, so let's see, are you separate? Or is this just a whole thing that goes in the barge? Yes, this is a whole thing that goes in the barge, but you're attached to other stuff. I'm going to be very careful about what I laser, because I don't want to hit the fuel tank and have it explode. Because that's bad for me. Understandably.
Warning. Oxygen reserves low. Links recommend regular
You
gentle
don't.
exercise.
I'm not going to go through
to
there.
increase blood oxygen levels.
Okay. That makes sense in terms of cut the pipes, pull the metal thing out, and then go for the switch. I think maybe I've done it correctly one time, but you know, it had been a week or so since I played this.
Oxygen
And
levels stabilizing.
let's go ahead and get the fuel.
Have a nice day.
You just go in there.
Valuable object processed. Credit deposited. Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Alright, don't need that. Okay, so with this thing, it's so big that I need to be really careful about how I tether this in there. Is that going to start working? Yes. So I guess I should be tethering this other side to there so that it will go around, right? Hi, John Wiss. Greetings, fellow space labor organizers. Indeed.
We're looking at 5 minutes left in your shift, Cutter. Do what you do. Weaver out.
Okay, and another tether here so that you'll pull there twice as much, right? That should do it. Now we're getting there. And where's this other chunk of you? Okay.
Processing valuable deposit. Credit
Nope.
transferred.
You gonna go? We got some interesting clipping going on, but I think we're headed the right way. I think this is what happened to me last time, where it got stuck. And getting stuck that way kind of blocks the thing. So let's try all this again. And then, if you get tethered to there, and then I push, does this work? Do you get pulled? Or am I tethering to nothing, something that's not moving, and therefore it's not going to do anything for me? Can I pull you off? No. No, it's not doing anything. Okay, now I think we're we're getting there. Okay, so volume of tethers is definitely does something. I am really liking it. Some of the elements at first seemed like maybe they were not as much my thing,
Are low.
but the puzzle elements of it are very interesting. I really dig the music. It's very chill. Like, alright, yeah, let's go. So yeah, I'm doing all these tethers, but it's not getting there just yet. And maybe I need to put some other tethers on the other side here, because also my tethers are running out.
Looking like you got about a minute left, Cutter. 1 minute remaining.
Push it with a small object. Okay. Let's see, what can I get? Oh, so if I'd saved those antenna, I could maybe do that. Can I pull these off? Do these pull off here? Because these are cargo hatches, right? Okay, that's decompression. Whee! But I got a small thing. Where'd you go, small thing? Come here. Push. Nope. Oh, just a tether straight to the right. That makes sense. Well, we'll see what my workstation looks like when I get back to it, right? How various gravitational forces have
Hello, Shipbreaker.
solved
Please
problems
enjoy
for
this
me,
inspirational message.
or
The last
made more
10%
problems for
of a
me.
job takes us.
Please tell me I heard right, Rook. Weaver gave you his old armadillo? Oh, man! That's so lucky. I used to help my old man fix up
There you
heaters
go.
like that. I hear Weavers might not be in the best shape. Listen, I've got something that'll help get it ready to ride the rails. I'm transferring diagnostic programs to your terminal. Go ahead and boot it up.
So, am I supposed to, like, I wonder if I will eventually be building the ship using some of the same tools, but kind of turned around?
Getting data
Yep.
now.
Oh, I'm salvaging stuff on the sly,
Old girl was used for
it looks like.
construction at some point.
right? Wires and circuits.
Whoa. Could maybe even be kitted out for salvage running one day. This program will identify what parts you need to fix her up. Don't pay too much attention to Shippy. That thing talks way too much.
Are you shipping?
You can probably find everything you need just kicking around while salvaging. Bits and pieces that Link doesn't care much about. Oh! You could also rip parts out of other ship components. It'd ruin the salvage value, of course. Maybe don't tell Weaver if you're gonna do that.
Haha, nice,
Can't wait to see
okay.
what you do with this beauty.
Cool.
Good luck, Brooke.
Yeah, I like that. So you're kind of doing all this stuff to make it ready to travel. So I've got side objectives now. That's fun. Lou Steiner. Oh, here we go. Here's Lou. Yeah, a seat at the table is a really common thing I hear in kind of discussions among labor organizers, because if the owners and managers kind of make a decision and then they just tell it to everybody because, like, well, we're in charge. And if one person's raising an an objection, the managers kind of don't have to care because the power of the company is on their side. But if all of a sudden your entire team of 20 people says no, that we're not doing that, then okay, you're gonna fire an entire team and lose all of that time that it would take to train up another team. That's why together, to quote I think the second of the new Planet of the Apes movies, apes together strong. There is power in a union. So we have this ship doctor interface is here on the salvage interface, which is really handy. Filter, fuse, rod, piston, wires. That's cool. Otherwise you're just monkeying around. Exactly. Very cool.
Hey, Dee Dee, what's it like to work with animals? I always wanted to get into it.
It's tough work, kiddo.
Tougher than shipbreaking?
Well, no. But, well, it's just different, I guess. Nothing quite like wrestling a calf.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Eris doesn't get fresh meat, just the big stuff.
Yeah, even on Earth, it's only really for rich people.
It was a pretty good job growing up, even if it was hard. It's not what it used to be.
Huh. How so?
Mr. Tucker, the owner, was about as useful as a steering wheel on a mule. No clue how to run a ranch. Was mostly my family keeping things going. But Tucker cut corners too much. Raising cattle on Mars is just a damn tricky thing. So we ended up struggling just to keep him alive.
That sounds fascinating. And also a little sad.
So it wasn't pleasant near the end, kiddo.
Yeah, there's so much gravitation on the furnace that it's just stuck here, it looks like. Alright, I'm gonna have to hit it with something bigger. Alright, so this, are you already decompressed in here? Yes. So now I can pop the cockpit. Since I already activated violent decompression. Is that everything for you? Okay. You're gonna help me. Come on. And now I just nudge you, right? Go! Go that way! Hey, that's actually working. Come on. Now this is like a portal, or here's the part of this that's a different subtype of physics game. Spending so much time on this thing. Alright. It's not really so much fun. I tried to run into it. I tried throwing things into it. I've tried tethering it to the side. I've tried tethering it in. if I got something else that was loose and heavy, I could maybe tether this the other way to try to pull it that way while I'm pulling this the other way. But alright, so thanks to y'all's suggestions, I have the idea, or I have the suggestion of the better way to deal with these. The thrusters, which I can then hopefully do without setting myself on fire so much.
Processing object. Applying credits to account.
There we go. Oh, here's a question. Are you big enough to move something else? Nope.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Okay, so I want to do this from as stable as I can.
Thruster fuel system unstable. Proceed with extreme caution.
Warning. Low oxygen reserves.
Okay, now I gotta go in there. Only a little bit getting lit on fire. Come on.
Salvage destroyed. Please refrain from damaging salvage.
Okay, so then this starts coming undone, and I don't have much fuel, so let's go. Or I don't have much O2.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Affordable oxygen supplies are available for purchase at the Master Jack.
Come on.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Okay. And good on that. Health is not full, but okay. Now maybe I can use one of the other big wing things to smush this one, or to knock it around. Or are you still attached somewhere? Yes. Alright, let's make sure that our angle is right to not hit the fuel, since that would go poorly for everyone being me. Come on. Oh, I have to go in another way? Or do I just have to angle myself? Come on. There we are. Okay. Gonna come apart now?
All right, Cutter. You got about 5 minutes to fill your boots. 5 minutes left. Weaver out.
Okay. This is maybe going better than the other one. Okay, yeah, that looks better. And then I tether you
Processing valuable object. Credit awarded.
to there. Are you too far apart? No, you're moving. Okay, and then you all one thing, you are all one thing. You just head down there so you don't explode. How about that?
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
That one's good. Oh, this one knocked the other one away, but maybe now I can have you go to that. And you'll get dragged along.
Valuable object accepted for processing. Salvage.
Will it work? It seems like maybe this will work. Come on. Get in there. Nope, because once the other thing got processed, it stopped exerting force. Alright, so
Salvage deposit accepted. Credit transferred.
how do I... Okay, so I take this. How do I grab it for me? Do I just take it back? Or do I get it? Do folks know how because this purple thing tells me that it's something that I need for my own ship. How do I take it for me? Oh. Put your hand on it with Z or X. Whoa!
Critical helmet damage.
pulled too much.
Injury detected. A ticket has been submitted for medical assistance.
The way the physics on the push-pull thing here work are still fairly elusive to me. Yeah, chill until it's not. Absolutely.
1 minute left till the end of the
Did I lose that thing?
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Did the chair go away? Are you the chair? You are the chair. Okay. And Z or X. Okay. Now I've got well, let's take it to here. See if that works. Because if I put it in the barge, I don't think that I would get to keep it, right? F, okay. Yeah, because I've had other things where I see like a health pickup and the F will let me claim it. Maybe something in the terminal will tell me how I'm supposed to salvage the things.
Overnight genetic backup complete. Pattern deviation nominal. Have a good day.
Alright, so that was my 5th spare. It looks like. Go through 5 spares. Ship doctor.
Hey there, I'm Shippy. I'm here to help you get this ship healthy again.
Okay.
To place a component, you have to have all the parts first.
Well, let's see. Detective on ship. Filter? I guess filter is what I grabbed. Well, what if I send the salvage thing to the barge and then I try to choose which thing to, where to assign it? Okay, well,
Salvage secured.
I will either get the credits for it or I will get to grab it later. Let's see. Or I guess we'll see. Alright, so. Because that's another thing, right? This is a computer terminal. So. Hold to extract.
Looks like
Contains
you got a part
wires.
for the armadillo. See if there's any more lying around in there.
But if I take the thing from it, then it becomes junk.
Deposit accepted.
Understood. Data drive. Yeah, come on.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Alright, so we're going to take all these things out, and then I'm going to go inside and start cracking this thing
Salvage
apart.
accepted. Credit applied.
Start pulling you apart. Well, that may have been a more aggressive evacuation than was optimal. Where'd you go? Well,
Salvage secured. Applying
that one I can still pull. And physics. Nope, that's too far away. Okay. Please don't murder me. Come on, let's go. Light.
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
Let's see, here's something to salvage. And then you. Alright, just gonna. Can I move both of you at the same time? I'm just gonna use my body because I can't grab something with my hands at the same time for whatever reason. This appears to be a two-hand device. Maybe there's an upgrade I can get. That would be fun. Alright, so that's that. Let's start. Alright, I cannot crack this open from here. I have to go somewhere else. Hey, you've got... What do you have? Filter. You're open. What do you have? Hoist. Contains rod. I feel like... Okay, so there's several of you. Therefore I can...
Please avoid damaging valuables.
I can get one of these and then salvage the rest. Start cracking this, because then depositing the salvage will get a lot easier. Can I just crack you now? No, you still have some joists. Still have some connector DIs. There we go. No? Why are you still attached? Alright, there must be an exterior thing. Well, I can laser you. This I need, thank you. And where did you go?
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying
Get
credit.
all that soft crate down in there.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Hand crate.
Transferred.
Come on.
Warning. Low oxygen levels detected.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
let's go over here.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
I'd heard about the kind of union storyline, and I was interested in kind of checking that out and showing it off because it gives kind of a chance to talk about labor and kind of the history of labor organizing and things like that, which are things that I'm interested in.
Reserves critical.
I may not stream all of this game though,
Stabilizing.
because a lot of it is just this kind of pseudo-meditative figure out how to deconstruct the Lego puzzle kind of thing. And I would say I'm not such an experienced streamer that I can be really, really consistent in always having something interesting to say to keep the stream part of it like optimally interesting. But, you know, it had been about a week or so since I streamed this, so I was interested in giving it at least another shot. Alright, so this is a... Oh, I'm gonna take a rod, and then it doesn't so much matter.
Don't do that.
Salvage destroyed, don't do that. You gonna tell me what to do? I have to rent your stuff, pay for everything, and so I get to salvage the way I want to salvage, you alright? Yeah, very much pro-labor. The kind of big wave of unionization we've seen in media and in like all the Starbucks unions, all that unionization work is really, really encouraging because we had several decades of kind of the dissolution and or intentional destruction of labor power. Some of the dissolution or flagging came from like lack of militancy, bad circumstances, you know, kind of forcing organizers to choose between several bad options. But now, especially among younger organizers, folks like younger than me or about my age in like Starbucks and at McDonald's or things like that, has been really heartening because I think
Cutter?
it means
Got about
that
5 minutes left in her.
younger folks
Let's make 'em
are
count.
finding the language for talking about organizing and solidarity in a way that isn't just, oh, well, this is how people did, you know, major unionization pushes 80 years ago. You know, instead it's, here's why things are bad for us right now. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The housing situation and the stagnation of wages compared to productivity and like corporate gains, those are some of a number of great reasons to want to unionize. You know, the fight for the $15 national minimum wage in the US has been going on so long that $15 is no longer a living wage in most of the places where people were organizing at the beginning of that effort. So it's really good to have all of these unionization efforts, and there's been some great victories, but we've got a lot of work yet to do, just in the US, but then also in figuring out how to build kind of global and international labor solidarity, because, you know, if there are a number of industries where companies were like, well, those pesky unions in the USA, why don't we just go someplace where there aren't labor protections? And that way, you know, then they exploit workers elsewhere and jobs in the US go away. If instead we had like a truly effective global labor movement of solidarity, then nobody would end up getting screwed because workers in all countries across the world would be supporting each other in fighting against exploitation and bad working situations, so that there was no place to go that didn't have workers organizing and protecting each other. Because if you do need someone to do the work, and no one will do the work for so little that they can't live, then you just have to pay more. And then people can live on what they do with their labor, as opposed to the way a lot of people are operating, where they're having to work 2 or 3 jobs and or working and going deeper and deeper into debt. I'm very lucky because I had a lot of like economic advantages growing up as like, I'm just gonna get these rods here. Don't care so much about the industrial joists.
Please pay attention.
Please pay attention. I'm paying attention. You just don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, like my wife and I rent. We were getting to the point of thinking about trying to buy someplace pre-pandemic, and now the labor market, or the labor market is in flux, and there's a lot more unionization, which is good, but the housing market is totally screwed, largely, by my understanding, due to hedge funds and other big companies
You got about a minute left.
buying up so much of the stock of houses that are in the like $500,000 or less range, and turning those into rental property, which then effectively locks a huge chunk of people in the US out from the even the option of becoming homeowners, because there's nothing available that they can buy. And then they're stuck just renting forever, never able to build wealth through kind of owning a house. And the way that owning a house long term can let you kind of get more money later on. A lot of folks who sold their house, whatever house they had, then had to pay more and more to get something to then move into. So there's a lot of people for whom housing is may just not be accessible for their lives. Like a large chunk of millennial and possibly Zoomer or Gen Z people just taking, in the US at least, taking become a homeowner off their list of wishes. Yeah, out there competing with companies throwing cash. That's what I've heard as well. The question, yeah, I would hope that it's a bubble, in that the speculation will eventually stop and people will have to do something with those houses. The question is, okay, so I need circuits in communications arrays. Okay, cool. I've seen some analysis that we may not be in a bubble, because the companies are just going to, the companies that bought up the formerly cheaper housing are just going to sit on them instead of selling when there's some kind of market adjustment. I hope that's not the case, but I don't know. Boxable. Yeah, like prefab homes or like quick fab homes are certainly an option. The question then is being able to buy land that doesn't already have a house on it. So like if I want to stay living in Baltimore, buying land and then like making a house like that is an option if I can find a place where I can buy land and be still in the city, where in the city I want to live. Because in Baltimore there are a lot more kind of ruined/abandoned houses than there are empty lots where I could build a new house in a more viable fashion. But there's areas where like getting the kind of prefab house or just buying land and then building something on it is a lot more viable, and that could be a way out for some folks. Yeah. I definitely agree on, like, housing is a human right, healthcare is a human right. We have so many amazing things that we have figured out how to do and stuff we've created as humanity, that the idea that people would go hungry or not have a stable place to live just because we decided that the world works in a way that you have to have little slips of paper or numbers in a computer, strikes me as very silly and often cruel. Not quick fab, okay. Yeah, I have heard some stuff about Maine. I think there's also been a lot of discussion about Remoteville cities, like the idea that some either existing suburbs or exurbs or other areas may kind of get developed or redeveloped into towns or cities focused on remote work. Now, of course, if you're going to have a city, you can't really just have like office workers, because you're going to need people to do, like, you're going to need sanitation engineers, you're going to need like telecom workers for like internet support and everything like that. So you're having an entire town or city that's just remote workers, not as viable as a town or a city created or repurposed to focus on remote work, but then with the same type of other jobs and supports that any given town or city are going to need. Origami homes made of concrete and ceramic and steel beams, 2020. Okay, interesting. I don't think I'd heard about those at all. And that's interesting. I will want to look that up. I don't think I would want to live in a tiny house, but the like efficient architecture type of stuff is very interesting to me, on a conceptual level, if nothing else. Alright, got the reactor just fine because I took my time. Repair kit. I would like to take that repair kit, thank you. I will just have that for me. Lovely, thank you. I'm just gonna take that. Great. Good for me. Fuel, I don't need the thruster fuel. Yeah, the fold up and deliver thing is certainly interesting. Something that I don't know about for Baltimore specifically is like, are there housing regulations about like where and how you can put a new house down that are more informed by like developers and basically rules that are really more there to protect or enrich developers or like those hedge funds versus things that are about quality and safety for residents.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Yeah, there's I think science fiction fantasy writer Rachel Swirsky has a novella that's either just come out or coming out soon called January 15th, which looks at the kind of experiences of four different women around January 15th, which is the day in this setting when the yearly deposit of the universal basic income is put into people's bank accounts. And it explores, kind of what the impact of a broad, strong universal basic income could be like in terms of getting people out of like domestic abuse situations where they are kind of economically bound to a partner who is abusive, and then just like other characters in different different life situations, and examining what that could do.
Warning.
Okay,
Oxygen
and
reserves
let's go get some more
are low.
oxygen. Yeah, because you build a house, you're going to need electric, you're going to need HVAC, you're going to need sewage, water, which in the city means you kind of have to connect to these big existing systems. But if you're doing it in the country, then you need, septic tank or something like that. There's considerations whichever way you're doing it, right? Actually, I should go back and get tethers. Because another thing, if you're stuck renting your whole life, your ability to modify the space that you live in is incredibly limited. Or you're going to do capital improvements that you don't get to take with you because you don't own the place. Yeah, like chat 526. There's a lot. I think something else that people have talked about with the pandemic is that the pandemic has revealed that a lot of office jobs are not really full-time jobs because there's not enough work to take up your whole time, or for some managers, the only reason that their job was full-time is that they spent a lot of time kind of getting up in people's business to justify their existence. There are certainly managers and leaders that I've known or worked with who did a lot of work, or for whom management actually meant like supporting, mentoring, teaching, coordinating, versus like the stereotypical middle manager who is just kind of getting in the way or putting their name on other people's work. So there's a question of how can we change the way that people have to interact with work and still be able to like make the money that they need to make to be able to live. For a lot of people in the US, full-time work is required because full-time work is the thing you can do that will get you healthcare. If healthcare were decoupled from employment, then it'd be a lot easier for folks to like, oh yeah, I do this thing for 20 hours a week because it makes enough money for me to live on, and I have healthcare through, some broader healthcare system that's either state-based or federal or something like that. Because I've seen a lot of publishing jobs, which is what I used to do as my kind of full-time day job. There's a bunch of different publishing jobs that have come up since I left that as my day job, but they've basically all been full-time work, and I don't really want full-time work. My full-time work is being an author. But I like working with other people. I like some of the things that go into publishing. And I think I could have a very interesting and fulfilling time contributing a lot in a publishing job that was, 15, 20, 25 hours a week. Just those jobs are very rare. Because so many people are used to needing full-time work for healthcare. All right, now let's split this apart. Oh yeah, sorry, let me read your whole thing. So Rudnell is talking about the stimulus checks in the USA. Those had a hugely positive economic impact across a lot of sectors. That plus the child tax credit that was going for a while as a pandemic economic relief plan lifted, I think, more than 20% of children in the US who were in poverty, lifted them out of poverty because of the funds that their family were receiving through this program. And that program, unfortunately, has been allowed to lapse despite being hugely successful. We have the means, the tools, and other things that are necessary to be able to make a more humane world for a lot of people. But there are people who either profit from the world not being fair or just in that fashion, or they don't believe that people deserve it for some cultural, economic, or often racist reason. And that's why I know a number of people who kind of, when they look at how policy works in the USA, they say, okay, well, the reason why this hasn't taken off in the USA compared to other places is because of the USA's history of racism. And kind of racist systems have communicated and propagandized sufficiently to say, oh, well, those people don't deserve X, Y, Z. And if a program is universal, then quote unquote the wrong people will benefit from it.
I'd say get a move on, but
Which of course is terrible bullshit.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
But none of this need be the way things are. There are other systems in the world that operate in a more humane fashion. We can imagine economic and cultural systems that are better, where we as people are able to support and protect one another. There's been a lot of really incredible efforts in mutual aid across the pandemic, where people locally have come together, assessed and addressed community needs, supporting one another when federal systems would not or could not take the steps necessary to help people. So about that, we have a bunch of costs, interest, nightly genetic backup, hab rent, all of the tool rentals and all this kind of stuff, but still a very good salvage day, even kind of pocketing some stuff for our ship. We do need wires, right? I think that's something else we need. Let's look at that. Equipment. Oh yeah, I should repair these things. But I grabbed some repair kits out of that ship. So I can do better now. Durability drain. Yeah, let's get that. I don't need more top speed. Braking power. Yeah, let's have braking power. Okay, so we need circuits, we got wires, communications arrays. Okay, so we already pulled the communication array off of this thing. So we may not be able to get another one here. I think we're getting close, we're getting to the point where we're down to some structure stuff, where I want to be able to crack open some of the bigger chunks and then just start kind of throwing them into the processor.
Credits deposited.
Alright, get these lights here. Oof. What do I need to do to crack these things? Okay, so you are already separate, right? You're all one thing. And there's no special other hatches and things that I need to get to? Does not look like. Right. So let's just send you over there. Keep going. Nope, not going.
Processor deposit accepted. Credits
Okay,
awarded.
that's going. You are off on your own. What are you? Atmosphere regulator. Okay, and you...
Salvage deposit secured.
Okay, so there's something
awarded.
separate inside you. You are light panel. Where do I cut this off? Where can I pull you off? Oh, do I pull you off this way? Is that how this one works? It is, yes. I remembered a thing! Yeah, like, if you have land and you wanted to, like, work with a bunch of neighbors or kind of like-minded people in your community to figure out how you could use your land to be able to benefit your neighbors, then you can take that advantage and turn it into something that is able to help a bunch of people, assuming that you could do so in a fashion that, like, makes sense for you and your family. Wherever any of us have advantages, we can think about how to turn those into something that can be shared or used to help other people. You know, for some folks that may be mostly about kind of giving generously to organizations that you believe are going to be able to be, like, efficient and really do good without a lot of overhead or corruption. Or maybe it's about looking into community land trusts, or it's about organizing locally for labor rights in your area, or something like that. And like when it comes to organizing and like civil rights stuff or protests, not everybody is suited to go to the protest itself, but you know, okay, can you give can you babysit the families of somebody who's going to a protest and is like an experienced organizer? Are you able to, like, cook for the organizers so that when they get back from whatever it is that they're doing and are really tired or have spent all day being out in the world, you're able to feed them and then host as people are talking about their experiences in that day and kind of building social connections by sharing stories and kind of feeling that togetherness and connectedness through whatever activity, whatever like organizing they've been doing that day. There's a bunch of different ways of being able to be involved without having to do exactly one specific thing or even one type of thing. And that's really cool because it means that there's no one way, there's no one true way to be like an organizer or be involved in trying to, oh, my thing is screwed up. Yeah, look at how messed up my scanner is. What are you doing over there? Get down to the barge.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Alright, is there another thruster here? That's something. Alright, that pops off.
Processing valuable objects. Credit awarded.
Where are you going? No, go back over there. Alright, so let's go back over here and let's see what we can do with this thing. Looks like there's one more thruster that we're gonna pull apart here. Yeah, and in terms of the like police and racism, I have noticed just in the just since the pandemic started, it really feels like there's a big acceleration in far right
Salvage deposited.
kind of
Applying credit
hate
to account.
crap, where the racism or the homophobia or the transphobia or the anti-Semitism, whatever the kind of form of bigotry is, that is used as the way to kind of mobilize and motivate people. Like, oh, okay, here's this person, XYZ, they are the ones who are responsible for things being bad for you. That kind of approach is used against people and then becomes a way that neighbors are turned against one another, where people who have some variety of crap in their life are then pointed at the people who in no way, shape, or form have any responsibility for why something is bad for them. Yeah. You know, people in the US say, oh, well, all of these problems are because of Mexico, when it's just not the way of things, especially given the history of interventionism that the USA has in Central and South America, where the CIA or other kind of other parts of US government intelligence or like some other services like go like, oh, okay, well, we're going to give these people guns, or we're going to support a coup against this this leader because we are afraid of communists / we're afraid of socialism, and we're going to interfere in their election and political process because we know that democracy is better than socialism, which is very hypocritical, because then you're denying a country the ability to determine their own economic system. A lot of people were very angry when they found out about the degree to which Russia was interfering with U.S. elections. The U.S. has a track record of doing stuff like that, just not in the way that Russia did. Okay. What's that? Have I pulled apart all the things? Okay, can I pull you out here now?
Object processed. Transferring credits.
Where do I pull this apart? Okay, you are pulled apart. You're just not. Oh yeah. Where in?
You're fixing to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Where in Mexico were you, Chat 526, if you don't mind saying?
We were out.
It's totally fine if you would rather not say. But I'm curious if you are game to talk about it.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits. Processing valuable deposit. Credits transferred.
Yeah, my scanner being screwed up means that a lot of my, or I just have to kind of go off of what I remember in terms of which things go where without being able to pull it apart. Mexico City, Veracruz, and Puebla. Okay, cool. Yeah, I lived in Texas as a kid, but I lived in North Texas, so we'd never got down to Mexico. At least not to my memory. I was very young then.
Valuable component incinerated. Don't do that.
Value of components incinerated. Don't do that. I appreciate the very silly,
Rewards eliminated.
kind of judgy AI, though it's sometimes annoying. What are you? You're a
Processor
poster.
deposit accepted. Credits awarded.
Come on, get over there. Can I pull you away? Okay, there we get that into the barge.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Does that work? Okay, so now I call these off and I send you into there. That is already processed. Great. What else can I get from you? So I need some communications arrays.
Valuable
Here's
object
that.
accepted for processing.
And so you all just go in the furnace. So you're cargo though, right? I can chop that up. So let's call those off. Yeah, because I didn't get into those yet, so I don't want to throw them away. Oh wow, it's been a while since I've had ribs. That sounds great, chap.
Time is winding down, Cutter. Dig deep. Let's finish strong.
Where do I open
Deposit
these?
accepted for processing. Salvage goal achieved. Rewards allocated.
Okay, well, maybe I just need to figure this out. Well, here's the thing though. I've already hit goal 4, so if I come back for another shift, I can get some salvage, but my kind of the degree to which I can get more stuff is pretty limited. So try to send you to there. I don't know that I'm going to get the credit for any of these. Sure, I destroyed some stuff, but 3-9 is very good. Oh, you know what? I just forgot to take a break because I said I was going to take a break, and then we got to talking, and I got on to talking about labor with y'all, which is very fun.
Good morning, Shipbreaker. Your allocated shift time will be commencing shortly.
New hab poster, great. So yeah, because I normally stop streaming at 4, so I think kind of past the time where we're taking a break would make sense. So let's look at what upgrades we can do, and then I may call it just a couple minutes early to let myself get up and move around and stretch. Alright, I can do some upgrades. What am I? Scanner. I definitely want to repair my scanner because it was not working. Let's get that for sure. Scan range. Basically, make it fall apart slower. Yes, very good idea, chap. Thank you. Cheers. I just got a special cooling thing. It's one of these, which is basically a fancier version of get a big bowl of ice water and then put a box fan next to it to kind of cool your space. Because where I am, this office, I've got 3 windows, so I get kind of collect heat in there. Thank you very much, Chap526. I believe that's my notification thing is not showing up just quite right. So I think that was following, which I really appreciate. It's been great to get to chat with you today. So that's that. So yeah, I'm hoping that this extra cooling thing I can set up somewhere in the office, because even with my overhead fan and a tower fan, it still gets really sweltering in here, especially in the evenings when I have the computer on, because the computer, puts out a fair amount of heat, and this room just holds the heat really efficiently, which is not great in the summer, and I'm in Baltimore, and Baltimore in the summer gets pretty hot. So yeah, next time I may have that up and running, and we'll see how it goes. This has been a very fun time doing some Hardspace Shipbreaker and chatting with y'all about labor and how we could maybe make the world better and things that we need to fix. Yeah, I need to, because I have one of the combination slow cooker things. I don't remember which brand it is, Instapot, and I know that it can do some stuff with slow cooking, but I just haven't put the time in, because in a pandemic there are a lot of things to have to worry about, and I don't have as much energy or brain as I would like to were things better for myself and more people, especially since I'm a social monkey. And I'm a much happier, healthier person if I get to see a variety of people in person. Yeah, there's been, the heat this year has been really rough, and I know that there's already been, forecasting where it's oh yeah, temperatures this high have never been seen or never been recorded in this area. So if things are getting hot for you, do whatever you can to try and take care of yourself, figure out what is going to work for you, and I hope that you'll be able to be as comfortable as possible. Ditto, Chat526. So yeah, thanks to you, and thank you very much to Aridinel. It's been great chatting with y'all. Thanks to Trevity Mats for coming by earlier, and everybody who is watching. This is very fun. I probably do over 100 for 3 weeks. Yikes, that is rough. Probably do another Shipbreaker stream either Wednesday or this next Sunday. But I've also got some other things on my to-play list, and I'll try to figure out what will be fun to rotate in and talk about and share with y'all. So now I'm gonna pull up another Twitch page and see who is streaming that I can go to see. Okay, well, nobody else that I follow is live, so I think we may just call it. Yeah, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday as well. Happy Juneteenth to everyone. Fuck slavery. We need to make the 13th Amendment not do slavery in the U.S. So if you're able to celebrate that with some folks, I hope you get the chance. And it's very much in keeping with some of the stuff we were talking about trying to make life livable for people and fight against oppression and bigotry and all that. And I'm going to go up in the scroll real quick to try to find that housing thing that Arudinel mentioned. Check out Boxable. Okay, so now I'm going to throw that into Google so that I can look it up. And thank you again for that recommendation. But now I'm going to head out. Great chatting with y'all. I'll see you next time.